like I said, if you want to judge me, if you want to judge if you should listen to me at all, please go to our Kickstarter and judge as harshly as you want. I truly feel like, to be honest, I mean, I did a really good job, but a lot of it, I just mimicked what other people were doing.
The Epic Universe.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Epic Universe Inc. Studios. My name is Gabriel, and today we're just going to give you some insight on what it was like to do our first Kickstarter. Number one, I'm going to go on record as to saying that it is a lot more work than you would anticipate it being. That's number one. The guy that gave us the thought process of even doing a Kickstarter is William Russell. He was instrumental in us being able to navigate this industry better than we were prior to him. So he's been a lot of help. You're always going to hear me giving him his props because he deserves them. So when he gave us the idea, because we were never even going to do a Kickstarter, we were just doing this like the old-fashioned way. And he was like, nope, you really should. Your product is quality. He loved everything about it. Everybody that we showed this to at the cons, all the professionals, man, they were uniquely surprised by how good we had actually done with our first product. So he was like, no, you definitely should. The product speaks for itself. You guys should go this route. Now, the one problem is when he told us to do it, he undersold the amount of work that it was going to take. He was like, oh man, sit down. Your first time, it'll probably take you like 4 hours. You get it done in one afternoon. That was way wrong. So number one, it wasn't 4 hours. It was like over 2 weeks. If you guys want to, well, two. If you guys want to check out our Kickstarter, you can go to, there's a link in the description. It might be clickable by now. We got to do some sort of verification with YouTube or whatever. If not, just copy and paste. You can go look, please, by all means, be as judgmental as you want. I can't get better without any feedback. You can also look up some of the stuff that we have for the Kickstarter on our YouTube channel. So he was like, it'll take you 4 hours. You'll be fine. You'll do it in an afternoon. And that was not the case. So the number one thing that I learned and that you should take to heart if you are attempting to do a Kickstarter is that you should start like a month in advance. Start doing some light advertising a month in advance, at least a month in advance, and then also start your creating the campaign itself a month in advance. If you guys look at the bottom of our Kickstarter, so we have that intro video that's at the very top, and then I put the original intro video at the very, very bottom. If you guys look at that one, or you can find it on our YouTube channel, you even see me, I'm all excited. I'm like, this August 1st, 2025, super ecstatic about how quick this is gonna happen. And I was wrong. We did not launch until yesterday, which was August 12th, because it took that much time for me to put it all together. So it took like 2 weeks, minimum 2 weeks, maybe a little bit more. And you'll see it on there. I'm like, oh, it's perfect bound, square spine. It's a beautiful product. Love superior interiors, all this stuff. And I thought I was going to be able to do it in a couple of days, and that was like disproportionately inaccurate, wildly inaccurate. So then what I realized though is I did that first intro video that you can find at the bottom of it. I did that one first because somebody just told me, they were like, just do an intro video that's like 5 or 6 minutes long. Doesn't need to be anything special. Just talk about the product. So that was what I did. And then I was confused when I went to go put that in. I saw how much stuff was actually in there, never seeing it before. You know, I don't know what I'm looking at. So then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna look at some other people's that are in my same category for comic books and stuff like that and see what they have. That should give me an idea of where to start. Now, of course, I did not look at anybody's stuff that was not funded, because what is the point of that? Now, why look at people's stuff that didn't meet their funding goals? So instead, I looked up people that met their, like, far exceeded their funding goals. And the first thing I recognized is that the product for that intro video that I was about to put out was like so far subpar. It was beyond the basement. It was in the dungeon. It is a good video in and of itself for what it is. Me being, passionate and excited, talking about the product, talking about the company itself. It's a good video for that, but it wasn't a good enough video for an intro video for the product and the project itself. So these people have these 1 to 3 minute cinematic videos, or have actual cosplayers talking, something to that effect, but they're really, really, really nice. So I went back to the drawing board and redid it, and I feel like I did a good job. Again, I've gotten nothing but great feedback so far, even from people that are super backers, people that are in the industry, people that have done multiple ones. But again, I cannot get better without any feedback, so please let me know what your thoughts are. But I made a 1 and 5 second cinematic version, talking about the comic itself, the story, the characters, kept it mysterious and intriguing, but gave a little bit of information as well. And I felt like I did a pretty good job for my first time doing it. So that was number one though. I realized that the best thing you could do is, well, that was number two. Number one, I realized start a month in advance. Start doing light marketing in advance. And then number two, I realized that the best way to figure out what you're trying to do is to mimic the other people that are doing the same thing that you're trying to do. So go to those other people's pages and look them up. The other thing that I found out was we didn't even have a Facebook page, and developing a Facebook page is actually extremely smart. It's the only one that really connects to Kickstarter, and of course you can connect your IG to your Facebook, but Facebook Meta itself connects better to, is the only thing that seems to connect to Kickstarter. So as soon as you have an idea for what you're going to be getting in, doing a Kickstarter for, you should start joining groups that you're going to be soft advertising your stuff in. There's plenty of groups that will allow you to do that. You just have to find those groups. And then also, of course, TikTok, use all the things at your disposal that you should be looking at, that you should be using. Excuse me, I apologize. So those are the things that I mainly learned. And then I realized when I put the new intro video in and I started doing like the story section and the campaign section itself, like the actual campaign, I realized I just had no idea what I was looking at. So I reached out to Russell a little bit, but anybody that is doing this stuff, they're busy doing it all the time as well. So a lot of this stuff I just had to figure out on my own. So again, I went to William Russell's. If you guys want to look his up, his is going to be underneath Psycho Sal. All of his are closed right now. He successfully funded every single one that he's ever done. So I went to look at his, I got an idea. He does a lot of like banners and stuff. So I looked at like what the rewards were and what the stretch goals were. And so I looked up a bunch of other people that have been doing it a long time, and that's basically what they do as well. So these guys are old hands though, you know what I mean? Like they have all of this stuff readily available. They already know what their rewards are called, their stretch goals are gonna be for the most part, the rewards that they're gonna give. They have all this stuff down pat. But for somebody who's starting from less than zero, like we were, I had to figure all this stuff out as I went. So same thing, I went to people like William Russell's and just random people that had met their funding goals and looked at how they did it. Now, some people do it extremely simple. I mean, extremely simple, and had met their funding goals. There was one, I forget which one it is, but it's about a young black girl that's going on an adventure for the summer. And she finds a map. I wish I remember that one's name. It looked really cool. I wanted to back it. They did a really good cinematic intro video, and then a really basic storyline idea, and then even the rewards was very simple. The risks was very simple. Everything was just short, sweet, to the point, didn't have a lot going on, but was done very nicely. And then other people have, I mean, countless rewards, countless stretch goals, countless things that you can unlock. So we went somewhere in the middle, of course. We have a lot of apparel that we can offer, and we have the initial comic that we can offer. Obviously, we have prints that could be related to these things that we can offer, but we just decided to keep it as simple as possible. Now, what I did realize though is once I had like the initial bundles that I thought were a good idea, and the initial stretch goals that I thought were a good idea, and then I had a couple people look at it, do the preview thing, and give me their feedback. So mine was kind of anemic for the amount of bundles that you can offer. So I was adding new bundles literally for hours because it's not as quick or as simple as you think it's going to be, before I hit the launch button. And on the 12th, which was yesterday, when I hit the launch button, I finally just got to a point where it's like, look, I have to launch this. Like I gotta just launch it. I can't just keep worrying about trying to make perfect. Done is better than perfect. So we just gotta launch with what we have. We'll learn what we can learn from this and move forward with the next one, which we'll do in probably like 2 months. So the things that I learned were super simple but it was way more, it was daunting in the beginning. When you're looking at it, if you guys are thinking about doing a Kickstarter and you first start looking at all this stuff, and especially if you don't even have like the little bit of help that we had, like if you're just starting from ground zero, and as soon as you hit preview, there's gonna be so many people contacting you, some scamming. Oh, we're with Kickstarter. They're not with Kickstarter. Just know that right off the bat. And then a lot of other ones offering, well, we have super backers. We got these people, we got that people. I decided not to do any of that. Why take the chance? Yeah, some of them could easily be really, really successful at what they do and really good at what they do. But I figured if that were the case, somebody would have told me like, hey, if you use these people, that, they'll help you get your shit done easier and quicker. But nobody did that. What they said was once we get our email list up, we'll use each other's email list. So you just let us know what it is and we'll advertise for you on our email list. You don't give your email list to anybody, but you go ahead and for people that are worth, if they have something going on with you, like William Russell, we have in the next comic book, we have covers coming from William Russell, Jamie Tyndall, Jason Metcalf, and a couple other people. So they're willing to put it on their thing because they're involved in the product. So, but not one person was like, hey, this company over here will help you meet your funding goals. They cost this much, but it's well worth it. Not one person said that. So I'm assuming that most likely those companies are not worth messing with. So of course I never answered any of them back. So you got to be prepared for that. We did get two also that said they were from Kickstarter and made it look, pretty official. It had the little K, it had everything. But then when it says a link to go to a third-party site, anytime you even get a message, the first thing it says at the top is Kickstarter does not use any other third-party people. And if you click there, learn more, they'll even tell you that the only people they mess with is Jalop or whatever, however it's called. So there's a couple of them that really made it look like they were official, but they're just spam. So you got to be prepared for that. You're going to get a lot of them. Everybody feels like they can help you. But the truth is, if they could help you do that, then they wouldn't need you. That's the way I looked at it. Even when all that crypto stuff was happening, like during the pandemic, right? Everybody was offering the ability to make you millions of dollars off of $500. If you just give us $500, we'll make you $10,000 in a week. And then after that, we'll make you $150,000. And then you'll be, $10 billion in a month. But the truth is if they were able to do that, they wouldn't need you. They could just put $5 in, and in less than a year, they'd be millionaires themselves. So the same way I look at this, if they had that ability, they would just do it for themselves. They wouldn't need you to. They could just do it over and over again with even subpar products, and they'd be rich on their own. So we didn't mess with any of them, obviously. So if you're starting from zero like we were, and you have no clue or concept what you're about to do, what I would give you, a simple and easy checklist: start a Facebook page, start joining groups ASAP. As soon as you know you're going to be doing that, start doing a light form of marketing about a month out. And of course, the closer you get, the more marketing you do. And about a month out, you should be starting putting the campaign together. Look at other people who have been successful in creating their campaign, who have been funded, and mimic a lot of what they're doing. Like I said, if you want to judge me, if you want to judge if you should listen to me at all, please go to our Kickstarter and judge as harshly as you want. I truly feel like, to be honest, I did a really good job, but a lot of it, I just mimicked what other people were doing. And that's pretty much it. It was a lot more work than, I was literally sitting at these desks all day, every day for 2 weeks, minimum of 2 weeks to get all of that done that you see in there. Because you also have to figure out what can I offer? Where can I get the stuff? For stickers and stuff, we have the ability to get stickers. If you notice, at least right now though, on ours, we don't have stickers in there. Because when I went to go talk to people to get them done, I was like, well, do I want to wait on that kind of time? Do I not want to wait on that kind of time? I went to go talk to people that were here. I went and talked to people that I knew, where they're getting their stickers from. So it's also figuring out where you're going to resource everything from. That was another problem. So if you don't start a month out, you're figuring out where you're going to resource things from, and what kind of bundles you're going to create, what kind of stretch goals you're going to create. That's just going to be very difficult. And I will admit that I even feel, when I look at our page, our stretch goals might be a little anemic and our bundles might be a little anemic. But I figure for the first Kickstarter, it's not really that big of a problem. Might go in there within the next day or two, depending on how everything's working out, create another stretch goal that's a little closer to our funding goal. Because right now it's kind of a big jump from our funding goal to our first stretch goal. But I needed to make sure that I had everything resourced prior to. If you do not have something resourced, do not promise it. Everything that's on ours, so the comic books we have, these are in hand. They're all over this damn house. Our merch is in hand. We have everything set up. So don't promise anything that you do not know for sure that you can resource and that you have not verified either yourself or through trusted people that they can handle whatever it is that you're going to try to get done. So do not promise anything. So that was one thing I wasn't sure. Things like stickers, bookmarks, you think those are going to be simple, but everything that you resource, you have to make sure that you can resource it, and to whatever degree that you're going to need to. Let's say we got, if we just strike gold on our first Kickstarter and we need to send out 4,000 fucking bookmarks. I need to be able to make sure that I can resource 4,000 bookmarks. So that's the kind of stuff that you really got to think about. And that's why it's so important to start a month out. Do not start it any less than a month. To be honest, the quicker you start it, I think the better. You can have time to fine tune it. We did not have time to fine tune. I was literally just adding stuff all the way until, like, literally, I added another bundle and then just got to a point where it's like, I have to launch this, and just hit the launch button. So those are the things that I got. That's what I learned. It was a lot of work. Creating a Kickstarter campaign is not as simple as one would think. I honestly, now I didn't have a concept of Kickstarter. I'd never even looked at it before, but I did honestly think that it was just gonna take me maybe a day, possibly two. And that was just wildly inaccurate. That was just not, I was not prepared for the level of work. If you guys are gonna do a Kickstarter of your own and you have any questions, anything that I left out, I'm just giving you a basic rundown. Please, by all means, go down in the comment section, ask any questions you want. Oh, I also didn't know that you could get messages. Now, we were getting the spam messages that I mentioned, but I didn't realize there was actually some legitimate messages mixed in those spam. And I didn't understand that I could go onto my dashboard and go to messages. There wasn't a, you get them by email. So there was never a little like 1, 2, 3, any of that stuff in there. I didn't know anything was in there. I randomly clicked on it. It wasn't even me, my business partner. He was like, hey, did you see that there's a message? And I was like, what? And he was the one, he just clicked on it and he didn't know either. Went in there and there were some people that were asking legitimate questions. So you got to make sure you stay on that. And one guy, he just, you know, he had basic questions, but he had like 15 of them. Answered all of his questions and then boom, the dude backed. Had I not known that he became a backer, and had I not known those were in there, I may not have secured that. The only reason we secured it is he sent the message this morning and then we ended up getting back to him this morning. Had I not known that was in there for another 4, 5, 6 days, he might not even have cared by the time we got back to him. So that's another thing. Make sure you stay on top of your messages. We did have some legitimate messages in there. People had some basic questions and they turned out to turn it, well, 2 of them became backers already and the other 2 became, where they save it, followers. The other 2 followed and they said that they would come back when, you know, they got their money and everything. So those are the things that I learned. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. This is the Epic Universe Inc. Studios. We are here. We're here to stay. I hope you guys, it's going to be a long, wonderful, beautiful, amazing adventure. I hope you guys are here for the long haul to go on it with us. Any questions that you guys might have, hit me up, let me know, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Follow for more stories from the Epic Universe Inc. or visit styleassassins.com to learn more.